Hi Libra, and welcome to your October tarot reading with me, Paula B Energy. Glad that you're here. Let's take just a quick moment to call in our angels, guides, and ascended masters and ask that the messages be clear and concise and for the highest good of everyone who sees this video. So mote it be. All right, welcome Libra. Your very first oracle card is New Moon in Leo, and the message is shine. Okay, time to shine, Leo. Time to shine, just like the moon, just like those sunflowers. All right, let's see what else you have. Your Language of the Flowers oracle card is Belladonna. The message is silence. Listen more and quiet be. Okay, so shine and silence. Let's see how that plays out. Your very first card in your past energy. Now remember, that energy is going to be now in the last 6 weeks or so. Everyone will be at a different spot in the timeline, so to speak. Some of you move really fast and you're way ahead of that. Others of you, you're a little bit behind that energy. So don't worry about that. That's irrelevant. Just know that this is the approximate timeline we're talking about. And your very first card is Two of Cups. So it looks like, a Libra, that you have had basically a meeting of the hearts with someone or something. Could be your spiritual connection, definitely, but you're in a true partnership of some type, and it feels wonderful. Cups is our water energy. It's the energy of emotions. And in the Two of Cups, what we see here is two people who are bound together in some way. Now, this can mean actual true love. And it can be, a meeting of the hearts. So it could be maybe you have a friend that is just your soul sister or your soul brother, right? Maybe you have a real good connection to the divine and you're really exploring your spirituality. Perhaps it might even be a business partnership where you just mesh together and things just roll and you're able to, come up with great ideas from each other. And so that sense of being a true partnership and that you're almost like you're one person. I love that card for you. All right, your second card in your past energy, Libra, is Knight of Wands. This is the energy of go for it, of charging forward. That fire and passion. Fire is wands. It is the fire of drive, right? Driving forward. Notice his horse is galloping and it's like he's on fire. When we think of fire, we think of how it consumes and it has a lot of energy and movement to it. So if you haven't had that yet, Libra, you're coming into that. If you've got an idea of something that you've been wanting to do, that's always the card of go for it. Now is the time. Your third card in your past energy is the Seven of Wands. And this is the card of defending, or it's more the card of being who you are and standing up for what you believe. Notice he's not... So this looks like he's like, okay, here I am. This is me. This is what I stand for. And he's got these wands that are arrayed against him, right? And so we get the impression that there might be a fight of some kind going on here. But often the message that I get on this is it's not against other people. Remember, wands are actions, right? Wands are our drives and our passions. It's very possible that you have a lot of those. Maybe you have too many things that you're interested in doing. And guess what? You cannot scatter your energy. You must focus it. And the way to focus it is to choose one. So I'm getting the impression here that, especially with that Knight of Wands, is that you have had to... either now or in the recent past, you've had to make a decision and decide, okay, I got to choose one of these things and then I'm going to go for that one. I can do the other ones later, but I just can't do them right now. All right. Your present energy, your very first card, is Page of Wands. So more fire energy. I like this, but here we are with some newness, right? Pages are always new energy. Pages are about learning. And pages are about trying new things. So that's what this page is doing. It's the energy of starting, beginning. I like this energy for you, Libra. It shows me that your decision that you made is actually starting to work. But you got some work to do. You got some things to learn. You know, the pages are apprentices, really. They serve the knight, right? They help the knight, and eventually they hope to be a knight themselves one day. You're definitely in a time of something new, Libra, because your very next card is the Fool. The Fool is the number one card. The very first card, I say number one, is 0 actually, but it is the first card in tarot, and it shows the beginning of an adventure. And it shows stepping off in faith, right? This is the leap of faith. He's very unconcerned with where he's walking. He appears to be on the edge of some type of cliff, but he's not worried about it. He knows he's supported. He didn't even take very much with him. Look at that little tiny sack he's got there. He's really, really not concerned with it. So, Libra, this is right next to the Knight of Wands. So whatever it is that you've been thinking about that you need to do, this is clear sign. Knight of Wands and the Fool. It's time to go for it. It's time to take that leap of faith, and it's time to make it happen. All right, your third card in your present energy is the High Priestess. Now, the High Priestess, one of the most powerful cards in tarot, she is the keeper of hidden knowledge, and she is basically the queen of intuition. She's actually more powerful than a queen. She's the High Priestess. So it's time to tap into your intuition, Libra. You know what you need to do, okay? You do. Sometimes you hold yourself back because you want things to be balanced. And for you, sometimes it feels a little scary to charge forward on something, and you want to sit and think about it for a while. All right. You've already thought about it enough, basically. Now, moving into your future energy. It's you in the reading. This is the Justice card. This is the card of Libra, the card of the scales, the card of seeing the truth. It's an air card. You are of the element of air. And as such, most of you have a tendency to be in your mind a lot. You like to think. You're very good at coming up with ideas and reasoning things. In fact, you're so good that sometimes you see both sides and it kind of stops you from making a decision. But as we've already discussed, sorry, my nose is very, very itchy. Yeah. As we've already discussed, it's time for you to go for it. It's time for you to move ahead. So no more waiting around, no more measuring. For some of you, this will be you're in an actual situation where you need some justice. You will be receiving that this month or very, very soon. That energy is coming towards you. All right. Now, next in your future energy is the Five of Cups. Keep in mind, Libra, that now is not the time to wallow in self-pity or get stuck in lower vibration emotions. Fives are always the number of instability, uncertainty, and feeling stuck. Cups is the energy of water and emotions. So what we see here, you see those cups there that are there's 3 cups down here at the bottom that are spilled, and then there's 2 cups over there that are full. This mermaid is just moaning and groaning about the fact that her cups are spilled. That represents, things she no longer has, or emotions that maybe she thinks she's never going to feel again. Oh, I'll never be in love again. Oh, I'll never feel safe again. Oh, I'll never, whatever it is, right? So bear in mind that this is stuck energy, and you don't want to get stuck there. You're charging forward. You're moving forward. So you may have a little bobble there where you get a little stuck in the energy. Just allow, emotions are like waves. You let them come in and they'll wash over you. Sometimes they feel very overwhelming, by the way. And then if you'll allow that and not fight against it, then the wave will recede again and you'll be out of that emotion. It's when we fight against it that we get turned around and we start going down in the water instead of keeping our head above the water and allowing that wave to recede. Okay. Your third card in your future energy is the Empress. That leap of faith that we talked about, Libra, it's going to be very, very good for you. The Empress is the Empress of Abundance and fertility and manifestation. She is the one that can make things appear in the material world. So this is going to be very good for you. If this is a business idea that you've been coming up with, it's going to be profitable. Doesn't mean it's not going to be hard work, but it is going to see results. If we're talking about a relationship of some kind, you're going to see some results. You just have to not get stuck. Okay, now what are your challenges for the month? First challenge for the month is Queen of Pentacles. And we might say, well, we had the Empress and then we've got the Queen of Pentacles. Slightly different energy. This is the energy of Taurus and Capricorn and Virgo, the earth signs. Pentacles is our resources. And what we see here is the Queen who is very concentrated on her resources. She's in a beautiful garden. She's on a throne. And normally this card would signify more abundance, particularly in the material realm. But as a challenge card, this is the card of getting wrapped up in materialism. So if we're talking about that career idea, Libra, it's getting too stuck in, I got to make money, I got to make money, I got to make money. Or maybe because we're Pentacles we're talking about, so our resources, it's possible that it might be a relationship. And maybe you're thinking, I need to find my person. I need to find my person. Or I want to fall in love. I want to be loved. Or maybe it's in the area of health. I want to be healthy. I want to be thin. I want to be whatever in the health department. And we're so focused on that we get a little bit obsessive with it. And we're not focusing on the things we need to do. We're focusing on what we don't have, which goes right along with your next card, Five of Pentacles. Here we see the pentacles on the tree in the middle of winter. The tree's hanging on to these resources for dear life. And this is a card of, again, feeling stuck. Here's another five. In fact, in your reading, it's right next to the Five of Cups. So if you get wrapped up in that emotion of what you don't have, and then you start looking at what you don't have, you're going to ignore what you do have, which is these Five Pentacles here. You have resources, Libra. You do have them. But when you're focused on only looking at what you don't have, it's hard to see what you do have. So that's your second challenge. Your third challenge is the Emperor. Now, interestingly enough, you have the Emperor and the Empress side by side together in the reading. How is this a challenge? Well, the Emperor, while he's very good at systems and being able to have structure, sometimes he gets a little stiff and, too much of a rule follower. Too much of holding on to schedules and not being spontaneous, not spending time with those that he loves. My intuition says, there he is, he's all armored up, and then he's watching his children play when he could be over there playing with them. Of course, he can't play with them in that rigid armor, can he? So, time to lighten up a little bit this month, Libra. Not be so much of a rule follower. Not be so concerned with every little detail that you miss the bigger picture. All right, let's look at blessings. Your first blessing card is the Nine of Wands. You've had a lot of fire energy in this reading, Libra, and I'm here for it. It's time to get fired up. The Nine of Wands is the card of setting boundaries. So just because you have all this fire and passion doesn't mean that you aren't going to have to give yourself some parameters to live within and know where you stand so that you can defend the things that you love. I like this. Having good boundaries is a good blessing. All right, your second blessing card came reversed. So I'm going to show it to you upright. It's the High Priest. This is also known as the Hierophant card. And in its upright balanced position, it's a card of higher learning. It's a card of connecting with, rituals and things that we do to mark milestones in our lives. And really being grounded in connecting to spirit. In the reversed position, my feeling on this card is maybe you're a little bit too much into that. Maybe you're a little bit too wedded to, I've got to get this degree, or I need this particular I need to learn this thing first before I can go out and do it. As a blessings card, this means you're not going to get too bound up in that. You have the experience, you have the knowledge, you can do the thing that you have the idea for. You wouldn't have been given the idea if you weren't able to implement it in some way that uses your skills and experience. Okay. Your third blessing card is the Ace of Swords. Yes, that idea, that spark of truth, it is here for you, Libra, but you've got to listen to it. This is a card for you because here we are with swords, air energy, energy of the mind, logic, and communication as well. So as a blessing card, I'm going to say not only you're going to have the good idea, but you're going to be able to communicate it, because that's what it takes to make it successful, right? Whenever we have a good idea, we have to be able to communicate it not only to ourselves, but to other people. Okay, so you've got one more card to your reading, and then the Oracle card I promised you. The energy underlying the entire deck is the Two of Swords. So Two of Swords is this or that. She's got two swords there. She's blindfolded. She's trying to make a decision on what she is going to do. Now, we already talked about the fact that you had several things you were passionate about, but this is a card of indecision. This is the card of staying stuck in, I can't make up my mind whether I should do this thing or that thing. And as we've already discussed, you need to do the thing that you're passionate about. So she's going to move out of this energy and go charging forward like that Knight of Wands. All right, as promised, here's your Oracle card. I chose the Solitary Witch Oracle in honor of Halloween at the end of the month. And your card is number 30, When Fretful Times Come. And the meaning of this card is that sometimes we can feel like we have worries and personal concerns that just really keep us from sleeping and just kind of take over our lives. And this card is giving us the message that we need to tune into the natural world. We need to stop for a while and just allow the calm within to show you the way forward. You may be within a time of cycling thoughts. Take one day to tune in to the slower, more seasonal cycles. Take breaths and allow yourself to turn off from the deluge of troubles the world sometimes wishes to feed us, and nourish yourself instead with the slow, honest truth of nature. In that way, the rest you give your heart and mind will help you find the path through the complexities of this life. All right, so this is a card of taking some time, Libra, giving yourself some space, maybe going out into nature, going to a park, do some forest bathing, something that is going to just remove your mind from its worries and give you that rest. And when you return, you will be renewed in passion and desire to move forward on your new adventure. I hope you've enjoyed your reading, and if so, please click the like button, subscribe, and share it so more people can get this message. And thank you for being here, and I'll see you next month. Bye.